Hi, welcome to Financial Education for the Nation. My name's Warren Shute, and welcome to this lovely day today. So I'm filming this on Friday, the 11th of May, and it's a good day. It's a good day, getting ready for the weekend. But before we do that, I just want to talk to you about step 2 of the 5-step money plan. And step 2 is being financially well organized, and part of that within the 5 steps is actually, part of the step 2 is actually expenditure. So know what's coming in, what's going out, what you own, and what you owe. So today we're just going to focus on what's going out, expenditure. So all your spending or your external payment items, that kind of thing, and are you making the most of it? Okay, so we spend a bit of time going through that and tell you what I use with my clients and see what happens and see if you feel that some of this information overlay on you. So I think the key to remember is this works for people who earn £1 million a year or £10,000 a year. They're principles, so the structure and the principles are the same, and I hope they'll work for you too if you just take them on board. If you have a system that works though, if what you're doing is already working, don't change it, there's no need. But this is for people who are maybe struggling a little bit, who need a system to review their expenditure items. So step 1, get organized. So we have a thing called the bank account system, and the bank account system is where we have all our regular payments going out of one bills account. We automate as many of those payments as we can. We automate as many of your payments you can completely because it takes routine thought out of everyday actions. And this is something we can do really easily in the UK. If you go into the States, it's a lot more difficult to do. But in the UK, just automating everything from your rent, your mortgage, through to your utilities and anything that goes out on a regular basis. And I want you to go through each and every one of those items and say, do you need this item? Do you want this item? And can you get this item for a less payment, so a lower expenditure? Okay, so you need it. So, okay, I need to pay rent, otherwise I lose my roof over my head. Do I want this payment? Well, I actually don't want this one. I could maybe go on to Rightmove and check out and actually get another rental property which is less money and save myself a bit of money. And can I get the same experience for less? Okay, so need, want, or can I get the same experience for less? You can go through each and every one of your items. You'll find that there are some items on there like utilities, gas, electric, you can save a lot of money on. Insurances, they tend to be very much of a commodity item that you can search around on the web. And in the show notes, I'll give you some links to the sites that I use, and get yourself over to warrenshute.com and download my expenditure sheet. So you've got a spreadsheet on there that you can go through and look at all the different expenditure items that I've got, and the hyperlinks on there will go through to the comparison sites. There's lots of different things you can do to cut that down. So that's cut the expenditure. Make sure you go through each and every item. But the second thing is control your variable spending. So a thing called spending creep, where we spend these little bits of money every week, every day, that just accumulate into a larger sum of money throughout the month. Try and control your variable spending. And one of the ways we do that is through our WHAM. And we suggest you pay yourself every week on a Wednesday, remember, every week on a Wednesday from your bills account into a personal spending account. And then when you do that, when you pay onto a personal spending account, you just spend out of your personal spending account. You don't spend anything else. And that's your weekly allowance. We do it on a weekly basis, not on a monthly basis, because we want to make sure that you're not expiring time. That kind of makes sense. So once the money's gone, a week's not very long, or a few days isn't very long for you to wait to actually get paid again. Whereas if you're getting paid monthly, waiting a whole month to get paid again is going to be painful, and most of you would fall off the wagon if you did that. It's like kind of like a diet. If you go onto a diet and you have a cheat meal once a week, it's kind of quite straightforward. You can do that. You can last a few days, then say I'm going to have my pizza, I'm going to have my alcohol, my gin and tonics, whatever it might be. But if you have to go for a whole month or even longer, you're less likely to fulfill that. So the WHAM is paid on a Wednesday from your bills account into a separate account, and that's what you spend all your variable spending on. So from your bills account, you've got all your utilities, or your rent, your mortgage, everything else that might go out of the account which is regular and committed. And you're going to go through each of those questions. Do I need this? Do I want this? Can I get the same experience cheaper? And then you'll also have your WHAM, which goes out every week onto a separate account. I use a Monzo card. It's a new banking system which I particularly like, has an app, and I get a receipt through on the app every time I make a payment. And I spend my weekly money on that payment there. So it's nice and easy. For those of you who are on lower incomes, why don't you go and see if there are any benefits that you can claim or that you're entitled to. Everything from working tax credits to child vouchers that you can help you with educational fees and that kind of thing. There's a great website that I use myself called entitled.co.uk, and I'll put that in the show notes as well. It's very, very easy. It took me about 15-20 minutes to go through the whole process, and then gives you a summary at the end of the process of what you can and what you can't claim and what those benefits will do for you as well. So entitled.co.uk, that's another way of increasing your inflows. Although it's not cutting your expenditure, it's a way of increasing your inflows, which will help any spending items that you might have. And then the final one that I want you to talk to you about is looking at your allowances. So looking at your personal tax code and making sure that you're being taxed the right amount of money. Now, if you're an employee, it's a case of looking at your pay slip and making sure you're on the tax code 1185L. If you're not on that tax code, then perhaps you should go to your payroll or HR department and ask them if they can just check and explain why you're not on that. There might be other benefit in kind or something that are going to affect it. If you're self-employed, run your own company, have a chat to your accountant and make sure that they then just check and explain to you what your tax code is, why it's at that level. But you really want to make sure you're on the right tax code. Also sign up for the personal tax allowance, I think it's called, personal tax account, which is gov.uk/personal tax account. I think I'll put the link in the show notes. By going on there, you can see all your different information about your tax and stuff like that, and you can make sure you're paying the correct amount of tax. So it's all about making sure things are organized. So step 2 in the 5-step process, being financially well organized. So you've got a overview of what money is going out and what's coming in, so you're in control. So in summary, okay, so short video today. In summary, set yourself up a bills account. Get all your regular committed expenditure going out the bills account. Ask yourself some key questions. Do I need this? Do I want this? Can I get the same experience for less? Some key savings will be on things like utilities, insurances. I scrapped things like Sky TV some time ago, went to FreeSat and used Netflix because I can get a very similar experience to Sky, but for an awful lot less money. And it's a lot easier to manage for me as well, so it works particularly well. Set up your WAM so you have your allowance going out every week, and keep your variable spending controlled within your WAM. Okay, so that works nice and easy for you. And then make sure you go to entitled.co.uk, just type in your details. It's going to take about 20 minutes. Make yourself a cup of tea and go through it, and that will just give you a summary of any benefits that you might be entitled to. The benefit system is extremely complicated and in-depth, but that's a great site to review that. And then finally sign up to the tax account site on the government website, and that will just give you a summary of your tax position. Make sure your tax code is correct. Either speak to HR or speak to your accountant and just get some clarification on any ways that you can improve that if you can. So I hope that's been helpful. Should be receiving my books today, which is very exciting for me. So that's why it's a shorter video. So if you have any questions on this, let me know, and I'll be sure to post some more in the week. Thank you for all those people who are posting questions and stuff. It's been very, very helpful. And this has been Warren Shute for Financial Education for the Nation.